Hi, my name's Crystal,
And I'm Alicia.
and today we're going to read you a story. It's one of my favorite Easter stories. It's called The Parable of the Lily by Liz Curtis Higgs and illustrated by Nancy Munger. A parable is a story that tells a lesson, and this story has a lesson for you today. When we're finished, we're going to make a yummy craft called
Resurrection Holds.
We hope you like it. Enjoy! The Parable of the Lily by Liz Curtis Higgs, illustrated by Nancy Munger. One wintry day, the farmer's young daughter shuffled through the snow, headed for the mailbox at the end of the lane. Brrr! It was cold. She peered inside the mailbox and found a small white envelope. Surprise! It was addressed to her. Dear Maggie, the letter began, I'm sending a very special gift just for you. Look for it soon. Maggie loved getting presents, especially a gift as mysterious as this one. When would it come? Who was it from? What would it be? The farmer's daughter waited and waited, some days patiently, some days not so patiently. Then one very ordinary afternoon, a box appeared on her doorstep. The gift had arrived. The farmer watched as his daughter excitedly tore off the wrapping paper. He was eager to see what she thought of her present. But Maggie didn't say a word. She just stared at the small wooden crate full of dirt. Dirt was not at all what Maggie had hoped for. Poking out of the soil was a small piece of paper that told Maggie how to care for her gift. Hide in a cool, dark place. Water as needed. When spring comes, bring into the light. Then she knew it must be a growing thing, like a bulb that would someday bloom into a plant. Oh dear. Her long-awaited gift wasn't a toy or a doll or a game after all. The farmer could see that his daughter was very disappointed. His heart grew sad. The gift was from him. With a sigh, Maggie carried the wooden box down the steps into the darkest corner of the cellar and left it there on the shelf. Sometimes she remembered to water it, but most of the time Maggie just plain forgot. The farmer did not forget. He just waited, and he watched. Spring came at last. The air was warmer, and the gray skies had melted into robin's egg blue. What a welcome sight the sun was. It was time for the farmer to hoe his garden, getting the soil ready for the seeds that filled his pockets. Maggie wanted to help, so she marched down the cellar steps to get her own Maggie-sized gardening tools. That's when it happened. Searching for her toolbox in the darkest corner of the cellar, Maggie knocked the forgotten crate of dirt off the shelf. Crash! The crate splintered into pieces. Soil was everywhere, and the flower bulb that rolled to her feet showed no signs of life. What a mess! Maggie was mad at the box, and even madder at herself. She swept up the dirt and threw away the broken box, grumbling under her breath. And that ugly old flower bulb? She tossed it out the cellar door never to think of it again. Until Maggie woke up earlier than usual Easter morning. A warm breeze blew through her bedroom window, and the chirping birds seemed to call her name. Still dressed in her nightgown, Maggie tiptoed out into the garden. She was hoping to find some daffodils or tulips to decorate the table for Easter breakfast. That's when she saw it. The loveliest lily that God had ever made was blooming on the edge of her father's flower garden. Its white petals unfolded like a trumpet. Its leaves were green with new life. Its scent was as fragrant as the most expensive perfume. Maggie knew all at once what had happened. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry or shout with joy, so Maggie did all three at once. "Wake up, everybody! Wake up! Come see! The gift is alive!" Her family hurried out to the garden. They couldn't believe their eyes. So much beauty from such an ugly box of dirt. Maggie noticed the farmer standing in the doorway, quietly watching. His smile gave away his secret. "Father, it was you who gave me the lily," Maggie squealed with delight. Suddenly, her little girl's smile began to fade. Oh dear. She had thrown away her father's gift without so much as a thank you. How that must have hurt him. "I'm sorry, Daddy," she said, putting her little arms around his big waist. "Will you forgive me?" "Oh, my child," the farmer whispered, hugging her tight. "That's what Easter is all about."
Now I'm making resurrection.
Okay, so our resurrection rolls, like we said, is the yummy surprise that we have for you. I've made them almost every year since my oldest was little, and this may be the first time Alicia and I have made them by ourselves.
Yeah.
So-
And Alicia is Spanish for Alicia.
Yes. So what you need are crescent rolls, or you can make your own, or you can buy gluten-free, whatever you'd like to do for the bread part. But normally, an easy way to do it is to buy crescent rolls. You'll need some cinnamon, regular sugar or monk fruit, coconut sugar, whatever you'd like to use, a quarter cup of melted butter, and then 1 marshmallow per crescent roll. So this has 8 in there, so we have 8 regular size marshmallows. This is just to put the butter on, or lots of times we end up using our hands. And then I have some spray to put in the muffin pans. You can also do this without muffin pans, just set them on parchment paper when we're finished. So if you want to get a quarter cup of sugar,
Ooh, thank you, Mother.
put it in there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Hey. Is that it?
That's good, and just put it in there. So a quarter cup of sugar,
Oopsies.
and we'll use
Oopsies.
about a tablespoon of cinnamon. That's 2 heaping teaspoons, so about a tablespoon, and then we'll mix that together nicely. And you can use any one of the stories from the gospel about Jesus' resurrection to talk with your child about his burial and resurrection. So Alicio may not remember what happens with these, so I'll let it be a surprise at the end. But for now, we're going to crack these open. Yes?
I think you actually sprayed the pan, and I cannot believe that you actually are doing that on the table.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Roll these out.
Some of them are rosy.
And they're just stuck together from... There should be 8 in here. So what you'll do, you can roll them out on a floured surface, or you can just do it on your table. What we're going to do is we're going to pretend that this marshmallow is Jesus. And Jesus was wrapped in linen before he was laid in the tomb, right?
Right.
So we're going to dip the marshmallow in the butter.
Yep. Here we go.
And pretending that Jesus is being wrapped in linen. We're going to get it all over the marshmallow.
Wait.
Let's just get it all over. There you go. That's good. And then you're going to roll it into
Okay,
the cinnamon and sugar.
Yummy.
And then set it into the tomb, which is the crescent roll. Okay, I'll put it in this one.
No, I thought you were going to put in this one.
We'll do that one next.
Okay.
And then you're going to simply wrap Jesus into the tomb.
And I'm still having a hard time doing it.
And we're just going to pinch up all the seams
Yep.
so that
Yep.
nothing escapes.
Yep.
Once that's pinched up nice and tight so you don't have any cracks or holes, then if you like, you can dip it once more in the butter and cinnamon sugar.
Of course, who doesn't like some extra butter and cinnamon?
Exactly. And place it into your pan or on your cookie sheet. So
Yeah.
let's do that with the rest of these.
Thank you.
We'll continue to dip them all in the butter.
I'm just going to drop it with a big old plop.
Okay.
Okay.
Wrap it in the cinnamon,
Oh,
or roll
that
it in the
was
cinnamon and
good.
sugar, and place it on your crescent roll, or in your tomb over there.
What to do? Cinnamon rolls. Oh, this is messy. Real messy.
And then, do you know what's going to happen at the end when we take them out of the oven?
My fingers. Just push them.
Don't lick them yet. Just let's roll this before you lick.
No, like before we roll.
No, because then you'll have it all over your hands. Having your germs all over your hands.
Then now what?
So, do you know what's going to happen when these come out of the oven?
Wait, are you talking to me? Or...
I am talking to you.
Oh. No, I really can't.
You don't? Okay. Well, we shall see. We're going to pop them in the oven and see what happens.
Here are the resurrection rolls.
So, let's open it up and see if the marshmallow's there.
Okay, this one already got. What? Oh,
Can
nope.
you show?
It melted. This one melted.
So,
I'm gonna eat
what
this
happened to Jesus?
one. He escaped.
He escaped, or he what? What did he really do?
He died for us.
And then what happened after he was in the tomb for 3 days?
He wasn't dead.
He rose from the dead. So when the women came to put spices on his body, was he there? No, just like our marshmallow isn't there. So we talked about forgiveness.
Only because it's melted.
But Jesus didn't melt. He really rose from the dead. He's alive, right?
Alive in heaven.
So we talked about forgiveness, which is what Good Friday is about. Jesus did what for us?
He died for us.
So that we may have his forgiveness.
When he was born, that's when we celebrate Christmas.
And then 3 days later, after his death, he...
Rose, and I'm pretty sure that one's Easter.
That is Easter.
Very
Very good.
Yeah, you can. You need one.
Enjoy!